And Lewis Young live. Lewis, it must be fun.
Well, outside here, Bill, it's not quite that much fun. Light rain has thinned out the crowd somewhat. You may be able to hear the band inside playing Gimme Shelter. Eric Clapton joined them about 40 minutes ago for one song, and the crowd seemed to love it. This is the group that began back when the Beatles were first starting out, and they have wrapped up a 40-city tour here, the Steel Wheels Tour, as you mentioned. A quarter century of rock and roll capped off at Shea, the hot ticket tonight. As roughly 1,100 uniformed and plainclothes cops kept watch, Stones fans filed into Shea Stadium tonight through security checkpoints designed to keep cameras, tape recorders, booze, and drugs outside.
There will be no cans, bottles, cameras.
Anything that carried liquid was taken away on the off chance liquor might be inside.
Hot chocolate.
Overtly intoxicated humans with too much inside were escorted away. The crowd filed into Shea Stadium tonight over the course of more than 4.5 hours. Many of them sat and watched the opening act, but most were here for one reason, and one reason only.
It's great music. These are the best. Rolling Stones are awesome. Mick Jagger is just unbelievable, the way he just struts around the stage. I mean, the guy is just an animal. At 45 years old doing it, he's incredible.
They haven't lost anything.
No, not at all.
They're a little older.
They're still good. So am I.
The big stage erupted in fire and sound about 9:13 tonight. The music nullified the overhead jet noise. Of 6 Shea Stadium concerts, 300,000 tickets sold here. And if there were a few empty seats in the stadium tonight, it's because police cracked down on scalpers. 84 summonses to scalpers were written. 145 tickets were confiscated. 5 more concerts at Shea to go. We're live in Queens. Lewis Young, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Hope he gets to enjoy it.
The Stones are on their first tour in 8 years. They will do it all again tonight before a packed house. Tappy Phillips is standing by live at Shea for the pre-concert activity. Tappy.
Well, they can really still start you up. You know, back when rock and roll was born, they said rock and roll is here to stay, but nobody ever really thought it would come to this. The Stones are in their 40s, for goodness sakes, and they're still selling out concerts all over America, just like they did back in the 60s. Stones fan here. Mike McCallan brought his son Robert today. Who's the Stones fan here?
Both are.
Yeah. Both are. And what's the difference in your ages?
A lot.
I'm 43.
I'm 11.
What do you like about Mick? What do you like about the Stones?
Their songs.
Yeah. They're pretty old, you know. They're almost as old as your father, maybe a little older. So how old are you?
21.
Mick Jagger could be your father. He's old enough.
Exactly.
Don't you think he's too old to be up there rock and rolling?
No way.
Why not?
He's enjoying what he's doing. As long as he enjoys what he's doing, let him keep doing it forever.
How long have you been a Stones fan?
Probably since your late 70s or 60s when they started.
60s? Those are decades going by.
Yes, I know.
Does it make you feel a little old?
No, because I still like their music, and if he could do it, I could come watch him.
Well, they'll be starting up here about 8 o'clock tonight. This is not the fountain of youth here. It's only rock and roll, but they really like it out here at Shea. And I understand, as you said, Ross, that there's another group of aging rockers in town, and Rolanda Watts is out at the Meadowlands with the Deadheads.
Hey, Tappy, I'm hanging out here in the Brendan Byrne parking lot with a bunch of deadheads. Now, don't get excited. Don't get excited. That is not an insult. In fact, that's one of the greatest compliments you can pay some of these young people out here, to say that they're staunch advocate fans of the Grateful Dead. And they've been hanging out in this Brendan Byrne Arena parking lot all day long, gearing up for tonight's big show. And let me tell you, folks, the Grateful Dead are very much alive.
The first days are the hardest days.
It is simply amazing to think that after almost a quarter of a century, the Grateful Dead is still rocking and rolling to sell out crowds all across the nation, many of whom were not even born during the group's heyday in the 1960s. The proof today found in the parking lot of the Brendan Byrne Arena, where long-haired, tie-dyed, barefooted young people geared up for what some are calling the show of a lifetime. Deadheads, they're called, like 25-year-old Paul Wetzel here, who came here all the way from California.
The music does something that no other music can do. I've never found, it makes you feel so good. You come out of a show and a smile won't leave your face for a week.
I like what they stand for.
What do they stand for?
I don't know. You never see fights here. It's just so cool. Everybody gets along and talks to each other, and people help each other out.
Makes you think, what year is it? And what makes these guys so ageless? Well, we decided to ask somebody who knows, rock DJ Scott Muni.
They set the standards and nobody's beat them yet, so everybody wants to hear the best.
Have you noticed that the music changes at all to keep up with the time?
Stones, no. Dead, no. Dylan, no. Who, no. No, they're just...
Don't fix it if it's not broken.
That's right, exactly.
The Grateful Dead will be here at the Meadowlands tonight and tomorrow night, and then again the 14th through the 16th, and then the Dead will rise again on Halloween when they come out with a new album entitled Built to Last. You know, it's not only the Rolling Stones and the Grateful Dead, it's also Bob Dylan performing in the metropolitan area tonight. It makes you think, what year is it? Well, it's 1989, with some old folks making a big comeback. We're live out here at the Meadowlands. I'm Rolanda Watts, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Back to Tim and Rob. Hours.
The Stones hit the stage with a vengeance as they treated their fans to some good old rock and roll and 25 years of musical history. Their first concert in New York in 8 years. You seem a little young to be a Stones fan.
Yeah, I know, but I just came so everyone else is going.
It's the second time for this tour, and we're really psyched.
And when the Stones come to town, they don't do anything ordinary. Mick and the gang jumped around on a stage 300 feet wide and 130 feet high. It's all part of a 29-city Steel Wheels tour, and those lucky enough to be part of it paid anywhere from $30 to, let's just say, a hefty sum.
We paid $200 for them.
Ouch! Now, the city is expected to take in an estimated $2.6 million for hosting the concerts and an additional $2 million in fees to cover the cost of police security, electricity, and other expenses.
Come on, baby, don't let them drown you out.
Now, if you didn't get enough of the Stones, don't worry, they will be back for 4 more nights at the end of October. But unfortunately, all those tickets are sold out. Now, the group reportedly will make between 70 and 90 million bucks. That should give them some satisfaction.